Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So we got Miss Sha'Carri Richardson crashing out with her boyfriend in an airport. You know, I've been off and on having some things to say about Miss Richardson, all the way back from her being disqualified based on like the weed or whatever. And I was critical of her at that time because I saw how talented she was. And I didn't like it that she didn't have the discipline to do what she needed to do in order to make the best of her talent. After it seemed like she kind of went away for a little bit, came back more focused, and she started winning her races and things of that nature. She seemed to be more focused and more anchored and more centered and taking her talent and her career as an athlete more seriously. And I congratulate her for that because I like to see it, regardless of who she is personally. I liked to see that she would seem to be taking her talent more seriously and taking her career more seriously. And I purposely did not go into what I thought her personal character was and things of that nature. But in this recent incident, it's like you still ain't learned certain lessons though. And first off, before I go into my analysis, I thought she was a lesbian. Didn't she tell everybody that she liked women? See, that be such cap all the time. That be cap most of the time. These chicks just be freaky. That's crazy. Because when I first seen this story, I'm like, what boyfriend? Don't she like women? Wow. So anyway, airport cameras basically released footage showing her and her boyfriend arguing with each other. And she's like shoving them and stepping to them and all of this type of stuff. And I'm going to let you watch it. There is no sound. There isn't even really any sound, I don't think. But here you go. So like I said, there's no sound. If you can see it, they pointed out who Sha'Carri was. It's the little and short. Argue with this man. Trying to bogart this man. Pushed him all crazy too. So she pushed him hard. He's doing his best to not retaliate physically with her. I don't care what kind of argument you having. This is not okay. I don't care what argument you having. Okay. It continues on. She's over here. Still arguing with this man in his face. Doubling back. All this foolishness. So if this had just simply been the other way around, if he had been shoving her up against the wall, pushing her around, putting his hands on her, she would have been all somewhere doing a media tour about being a DV victim. They would have turned that into a whole thing, using Sha'Carri as the face of DV survivors everywhere, and how she survived her abusive boyfriend, because if he could do this out in public, imagine what he does in private. She would have had all kind of abuse stories about how this was a regular occurrence and he be always fighting her. But since it's her doing this to him with video evidence, where is the super outcry? Now, the comments is basically saying, what? Says she needs to calm her strong butt down. Said, I don't know what happened, but walk away. Never step to a man. I don't care how many gold medals you have. Walk away. That was a woman saying that. Now, here is the deflecting comment. He provoked her. He took her phone. How you know? I'm not even a fan of her. He did put Shorty in that position. What do you know about it? At her level, I don't care what that man did. I'm not crashing out at an airport. Too much to lose on the line. See, some people was coming from, she got too much to lose. Instead of, this was just the wrong move. I don't care if she was a regular person and not like somewhat of a celebrity or whatever. People are missing the point. When women put their hands on me and suddenly people miss the point. You can't be putting your hands on anybody. Because had he decided to go ahead and mollywop her real quick, then it would have been an outrage and an outcry as to how he needed to walk away no matter what a chick do to you, you can't do. Like, it would have been a whole thing. It would have been a whole thing. So, to a small degree, I get what they saying. You kind of a celebrity. You got things to lose, endorsements to lose. You could lose stuff getting into the media in a negative light like that. But forget all that. She just abusive. Was you whooping on your little girlfriends like that? Is that why you had to try to come over to the men? That's not going to fly. Again, I don't care what they arguing about. I don't care. Because whatever they're arguing about, putting your hand shoving, trying to have a shoving match, and not even a shoving match because he wasn't touching her. He did nothing on this camera. He didn't do nothing to her. He wasn't retaliating. He wasn't hitting her. He wasn't pushing her. He was nothing. It looked like he was barely arguing. He probably was doing that. Get out of my face, Sha'Carri. Gone, Sha'Carri. Stop, Sha'Carri. He probably was doing that type of thing. Not wanting to make more of a scene than it already was, and certainly doing his best to keep his composure so he don't wring her little neck. Because I don't care how healthy she is, he can wring your little neck. So had he decided to put the flu flops, then you would have been crying about how ain't no man supposed to put his hands on you and blah, blah, blah. And a woman said, now, Sha'Carri, if that man would have knocked your head between the wash and the dry, you would have been hooting and hollering. Okay? So the women know. The women are like, now come on now. You just fighting? You just pushing and shoving and hitting and stuff? So now if he would have laid her out in the middle of the airport, then what? Keep your hands to yourself. Bravo to him keeping cool, because, honey, he could have made one swipe backhand and she would have flew. I was raised, you put your hands on a man, prepare for the hit back. Another woman said, I wonder how outraged people would be if he was the aggressor instead of her. He would have been losing all his endorsements and be suspended from running. Will she be canceled the same way? No. Another lady said, I even if he did do something, you don't put your hands on people. I need people to recognize that this is abuse, no matter how you swing it. If I'm going to advocate against DV, it's for all. And another lady said, well, if it was the other way around, we would be upset. If she thinks she can do that in public, imagine what she does in private. Imagine what she does behind closed doors. Many men are afraid to admit that they are victims of abuse. Another lady said, imagine how she is when no one is watching. So the women are not championing this foolishness that she's got going. All in the airport acting a fool. Embarrassing. Not only is it abusive in any setting, it's also embarrassing. You making a whole scene, arguing out in public, fighting out in public. Man, come on. That's for the birds for real. That's for the birds. If you got to do all that, y'all don't need to be together. Period, point blank. End it now. End it now. It ain't nothing worse than having a whole spectacle of arguing and fighting. I'm sorry. That stuff is slightly triggering to me because, like I grew up with that kind of foolishness. Parents fighting, arguing all down the block, all in front of the house. How embarrassing that is. I vowed when I got grown and when I got in my house and when I got with my man, we're not going to do no public fighting and arguing all in the hallway. I'm not doing that. I am not doing that at all. Not even a little bit. I'm not even doing that a little bit. Nothing. No, we're not doing it. All the arguing we gonna do, if we gonna do any of it, gonna be in the house. Just me and you. If we gotta argue, then fine. But all of that getting out in public, making a whole big spectacle, a whole big scene, yeah, and now we done got the shoving and pushing and all that kind of stuff. But man, calm down. Man, come on. What are we doing? What are we doing? This is yet another thing of chicks not expecting a dude to pop them when you want to put your hands on a guy. He ain't supposed to pop you. But the way I grew up, you get popped. Man or woman, you put your hands on somebody, you about to get popped. It don't matter that it's a dude. Matter of fact, it's even worse. Because them Gen X boys I grew up with hit you. They hit you. They hit girls. They didn't care nothing about all that. Girl get too crazy with him, he finna pop her. I'm sorry, that's just how we grew up. I'm talking about dudes that wasn't like beating women. These was the non-abusive guys. Like a girl couldn't, his woman can keep on putting her hands, man. Come on. You gonna stop. He gonna try to restrain, you gonna try to stop. You don't want to listen, you don't want to be restrained. Okay. If I pop you, then you will see. You will understand it then. Sorry, that's just the way I came up. I don't know about nobody else. Maybe other people didn't do that. But from where I'm from, hitting a dude, that ain't guaranteed that you just gonna be able to hit him without no consequences. That's a whole problem. Anyway, jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.